Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susie and today I wanted to share with you something super exciting. I have a new worksheet set coming out that is actually releasing today or the day that you're watching this video. And I wanted to share a flip through of the entire thing with you here in case you were considering purchasing this worksheet set. So let's get right into the details of this worksheet set. I am so excited to share this one with you because I had so much fun creating it, and it is called the Millie. The Millie goes along a really similar format as some of my more recent worksheet sets that have names and this type of a cover, and that's just because I'm trying to kind of differentiate them for you because they do kind of follow a very specific format that contains a lot of things. But you guys know that I talk about practice being so important for hand lettering, and I truly want to help your practice be simple, and that's why I do the format this way. So as you can see with the Millie, you are getting one page for each letter of the alphabet in both lowercase and then also another page in the uppercase version of that alphabet. So not only that, but you are seeing the strokes broken apart. So for example, when there's a letter like a capital R that really has like 4 different strokes, you are going to see each of those 4 strokes individually, but not only are you going to see it, you're going to have a little bit of traceable practice so that you can practice those strokes by themselves. Now, the amount you get just kind of varies depending on how big the actual writing is, because obviously I don't want to just fill up an entire page with just individual strokes. I want you to have practice time for the entire letter as well. But they are all very intentional, so I think that you will get some great practice out of these. One change that I want to mention that I made with this worksheet set that is not in the Olivia or the Eloise is that I added a blank line at the bottom for freehand practice. I don't like to fill up too much of the page with like blank lines because I want you to get a lot of help out of these worksheets and get a lot of tracing practice. And I know that you could practice freehand outside of your worksheet set, but I have heard feedback that it would be nice to have just at least one line to see how you're doing at the end of the page. So that is why I added that here. So you can practice over and over as you trace and then just give yourself that one line to kind of do it on your own and see how you are doing. So as we move on past the full page for each letter, we also have a page where you can get the same kind of practice, but in a little bit quicker of a format. So instead of practicing an entire page of each letter, you can print out these pages to practice them a little bit more quickly. So I tried to create the flow of this worksheet set where you kind of start with the beginning and get those strokes down and then get those letters down individually. You may even want to just start with lowercase and then kind of practice that until you feel more comfortable and then want to go back to the capital letters. But then when you are feeling pretty confident in some of those letters, you might not want to practice an entire page of A's. But I do still think it's great to come back and practice those letters. So that is why I gave you these pages where you will get one line for your capital letter, one line for your lowercase letter, and then one line where you combine the two together. So as you can see, it's capital A, and then the next line is a lowercase a, and then the next line is a capital A with a lowercase a next to it, and so on. I think these pages are so great because it helps you to not only practice your letters, but also to get a feel for some of the letters that you may connect to the next one. So when it comes to hand lettering capital letters, I don't always connect them. Sometimes they look good connected, and sometimes they just don't. Obviously, it also depends on which letter is coming second, but I think that these pages can at least give you a little bit of a feel for what you might be able to do with the capital letter. So then we are moving on to the 101 motivational practice words. I like to give you these motivational, uplifting words as you're practicing your hand lettering, and I drew these out in the style of the Millie. So like I said, the Millie is not a super even hand lettering style. The style is fun and slightly bouncy, but not super bouncy. It may be kind of a step up after you have done something like the Olivia or the Simplified Lettering Beginner Bundle, but I want to point out that I hand draw these worksheet sets, so I'm not typing it out like a font. I am literally hand drawing these words here by hand, so you are going to see some slight variations because that is hand lettering. You know how sometimes when you use a font and you write a word and it just kind of looks funny, but that's the way that it goes because those particular letters, that's just how they hit when they are side by side, because there might be just like 2 specific letters that when they connect side by side, they just don't like always look great together. And I don't want that when I am making these words. I want them to look good. So sometimes if I have to make a letter a little bit larger just to make sure that it connects nicely, I might do that. Or for example, that PR combination. You're going to see a little variation of the R because when I take that loop up from the P and connect it to the R, I can't do that R the same way as I did like above when you see perspective where it's PER. So I don't want you to just copy a font. I want you to have kind of the real life experience of tracing true hand lettering. And with that comes the fact that hand lettering is unique and it's just not a typed out font. So you are going to see some things like that, and I just wanted to point that out for you. But honestly, that's what I love about the Millie, because it's so fun and playful, and it kind of gives you a little bit of rule breaking with a very classic hand lettering style. So for this worksheet set, I would recommend using a medium to large size brush pen. I would not really recommend a small size brush pen, but I will show you an example of a small brush pen just so you can get an idea of what it might look like. But like I said, I would recommend a more medium to large size brush pen. So after we have our 101 motivational practice words, we have this quick start page. This page is not the same size as the rest of the page because the point is to have A through Z all on one line for you to practice that letter formation. So I'm showing it to you with a monoline pen that I'm using, and this is maybe the one page where you could use a smaller sized brush pen, but again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying this worksheet set if you want something with a small brush pen. I really like these quick start pages because they help you to just drill in that letter formation over and over and over and over. So again, you might not use a brush pen here, but this is really just drilling in that letter formation for you. And this might be something that you print out more by itself and just kind of do one line a day or one page a day or whatever will help you to be able to practice in a way that works really well for you. So when you go to print out your worksheet sets, I will give you a cover page and then I'll give you an information page that has the page numbers so that you can just print the ones that you want over and over. So as you go back and want to print them out again, you might not necessarily want to print out the entire thing. You could just print out several copies of this quick start page, or you could print out the words, or like I said, whatever helps you practice in the way that works best for you. And then like I mentioned, you will also receive a blank lined page so that you can do this all freehand over and over and over again. So I hope that you can see that you really will get a lot of practice out of these, and I have tried to lay this out in a really intentional way that has a nice flow where you can just get a lot of practice and kind of grow with your worksheets. So even if you are starting out as an absolute beginner, you can start out with those individual strokes and then you can continue to move on as you are feeling more confident. So truthfully, I hope that those of you who buy this worksheet set are able to just keep using it and keep benefiting from it over and over. So I'm showing you an example using several different brush pens in case you wanted to see what those look like. This is also a worksheet set that you could potentially use with some watercolor if you wanted, and I'll show you an example of that here. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this paintbrush, but I just wanted to show you for sizing purposes. I usually do recommend the Pentel Aquash water brush, and I need to order a couple of new ones because I really like that water brush for hand lettering specifically. So from Friday until Tuesday, I will have a special launch code in the description box below if you want to grab this worksheet set for yourself. I just also want to add that all of my worksheets are printable, so you will receive PDF files for these worksheets, and I don't send anything in the mail. I don't create books to order on Amazon. I make printable hand lettering worksheets, and I hope that's understandable for you. I know sometimes people are looking for something in the mail, but again, I have always been really intentional about wanting to have printable lettering worksheets because I think it is one of the most helpful ways because you can continue to print these out as you need more, and I just think that hand lettering takes a lot of practice. So again, I hope that this helps you with your brush lettering, whether you are a brand new beginner or if you are looking to add a little bit of bounce and a little bit of character to your hand lettering. It's for sure beginner friendly since it will be starting with those basic strokes, but this also could be something that you might want to add if you are looking to add a little bit of character to your hand lettering as well. So thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure to check out the description box below for that discount code. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Have a great weekend.